Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens all over the world. And I'm going to have a bit of a rant, okay? I've got to get this off my chest. You know, while everybody else is suffering, those scumbags who put their hands in the taxpayers' pockets back in 2008, and yes, I'm talking about the big banks, when they got trillions of dollars to keep them alive because they were bankrupt. Now, here we are 12 years later, and you have this lockdown happening, and what are they doing to help people? Nothing. It was the taxpayers who bailed out these shysters. Now, let me tell you who these shysters are. They are the deep state. They control everything that happens in most governments. I say most governments because very few governments are not within their control, including Australia and South Africa, and of course the United States of America. And thank God for Donald Trump, because he is actually standing up against them, and that's why he has been victimized by the Democrats, because they are so embedded in the deep state. Now, let me make something very, very clear to you, that the real pariah, the Satan in the world today, are the deep state. They are very real. This is not a conspiracy theory. They are manipulating things. You heard about the lobbyists at Washington, D.C. and the Congress and the Senate. Well, most of the Congress are bought, sealed, and delivered by the deep state. They do their bidding. That's why the whole democracy thing is a farce. And that's why right now, when we talk about what's going on in the world today and this economic collapse that's happening across the world and going to really hit countries like South Africa, it's all orchestrated because of this lockdown, which is completely unnecessary, in my view. Because a much better way to go would be to put the people who are vulnerable to the COVID-19 virus into isolation, keep them out of the way. People with ailments that might also be conflicted, keep them out of the way, and just let the damn thing go through the rest of the community. As we know, 80% of people, they're almost asymptomatic when they have it. Doesn't do anything to them. We are shutting down the whole world, not because of the virus, because this is an excuse for the New World Order. Those shadowy figures, the deep state that control things. This is their next level of regime change, where us, the peasants, we're the peasants. They're the guys who are going to run the world in the New World Order. We're the peasants. This is the next step of getting us to become compliant with their wishes. That's what this lockdown's all about. It's a test run to see how the citizens of the world will react to such a thing. They've done this for years and years and years. And this is the elephant in the room, because if they can do this, and with new track and trace technologies like with 5G and with mobile phones where they can follow every step you take, who you see, what you do, this is what they're going to be using with the new supercomputers that are coming out. We will be literally slaves. We'll be like little robots walking around, and if you put a step wrong, there'll be that social situation that they've got in China where you get social credits depending on how well you behave. That's where we are headed if we don't take a stand now against the deep state. And the one person who's standing between us and them having ultimate victory is the United States President, Donald Trump. God forbid that he should be beaten this year in the presidential elections. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think 4 more years of Trump, that'll do a huge body blow to the deep state. And the banking system. The George Soroses, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and I can just go on. These are the people who are pulling the strings at the top of the deep state. They're the ones who want this global government, so they will be in power, literally. They will be basically the government, and the rest of us will just be like serfs or slaves. And we'll have our little 3x3 little room, and if we behave really well on the social credit system, we might be allowed to find some woman to come and join us, or a man to come and join us, so that we can actually form a family. But even there will be limitations as to how many children you can have. There will be limitations as to what you can do. The whole thing will be controlled by just a few ultra-rich families. We are at the crossing roads. This is the friggin' Rubicon, guys. This is a friggin' Rubicon. This lockdown is a complete charade. I don't know why people can't see this. 20, 30 people dying because of the coronavirus when they're already suffering from heart ailments and they're really old, they're probably going to die anyway. What about cancer? What about HIV/AIDS? What about diabetes? These diseases cause far more deaths. What about tuberculosis, which is far as infectious as this COVID-19, which is a complete joke. TB. We had a situation in South Africa where homeless people were pushed into this little, like a concentration camp in Strandfontein, and about 1,500 people were put in there, and they suddenly realized that a large number of those people had tuberculosis, which is incredibly infectious, and it's as deadly. In fact, it's worse than COVID-19 because it just completely changes your life. And yet, nothing's been done about COVID-19, about tuberculosis. There hasn't been this lockdown because TB's out there. There hasn't been a lockdown because cancer's out there. There hasn't been a lockdown because influenza's out there. This is bullshit. This is the deep state. And I think Trump has cottoned on to what is going on. And if he can bring America around and say, look, get rid of the friggin' lockdown, let the economy move on, because that's what the deep state are trying to do. They're trying to kill the global economy. They're trying to crush the global economy, because when people are starving and they're hungry and they're desperate, they will be in the pound seat, because guess what? They have got all the gold bars at the Bank of England, in London, in the US. They will just say, hey guys, you need us to survive. And desperate people will do desperate things. This lockdown is a complete scam. I'm going to say no more about it. Think about it. And think about the origins of COVID-19 as well. Apparently from a laboratory, not from an animal, in Wuhan. There is something very, very wrong here. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates, please. Like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. And we need to get our governments to go after this deep state. We need to throw them behind bars. We need to make them the prisoners. We need to change the whole financial system. We need to get rid of fiat money, which is a complete load of crap. Look at Zimbabwe. That's what can happen to your currency under fiat system. And guess who controls it? The deep state.